Hello my guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. So, in this video, I decided I was going to randomly generate some flowers and then turn those flowers into a character design. Now, originally this video was supposed to be one part, but then I went ahead and recorded it, and it was 40 minutes of audio. So, I hate to do this, but it's gonna have to be two parts. I did 3 flower designs in total, and in this video you'll get to see the first one and the one that took the longest. But it's definitely my favorite drawing that I made in these 2 videos. So if you want to see the other 2 designs, make sure to come back next week and check those out. Also, so far 100% of my viewers are subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, don't be that one person. And on with the video. So the first one I got was Helleborus niger, and that's the scientific name. It's commonly called the black hellebore or Christmas rose. So I did some research to figure out different legends behind it, meanings, requirements for growth, when it blooms, all those kinds of things. And the black hellebore is poisonous to eat. It blooms around Christmas time in most warmer climates, so that's why it's called the Christmas rose. It needs to grow in the shade, unlike most flowers and plants, so it needs moderate shade. It also is known to ward off evil or something. Specifically witches was what I found most of the time. Apparently if you got a witch problem, get you some Christmas roses. There's also some meanings behind it, like peace. I think there was scandal. And then there's also a little myth that came along with this one that I found. So a little girl in Bethlehem didn't have a gift for Jesus. So she was crying and her tears sprouted a black hellebore. And so that was her gift, I'm pretty sure. But I want to take all these things into account when it came to creating my character. And I definitely had a lot to work with. So much so that for this one I had 3 different routes I could take pretty much. So the first one was this standoffish witch design where it would be a really mysterious, I don't know, poisonous witch or something. And while that sounded really cool when I kind of tested out some designs, it didn't really look cool. And it didn't fit with a lot of things like the meaning of peace, the Christmas theme, it warding away witches rather than being a witchy thing itself. Then I had this idea of pretty much just cottagecore fashion dream. A really peaceful girl, wind in her hair, the bow on her bonnet flowing, beautiful big dress. I think most of this came from the peace meaning. But yeah, it didn't really fit too well. I think I just wanted to draw it. And then finally there's the concept I had of a knight pretty much. So it would be very dangerous, which she'd be a very dangerous person, which brings in the poisonous theme. But she's for a good cause and she's protecting from evil. You see where I'm going? And so that's eventually the one I went with. Then I tried just going right in and sketching, and I'm I have no design yet. I can't just design during my sketch. So I went off camera and I got a notebook and started sketching out some designs. So I started off with sketching some ideas for the face. And the big thing I wanted to figure out first was hair. I kind of wanted her hair to be made out of petals. But I tried that once before in my 3-color challenge video, and it looked really messed up. So I tried again this time. My first attempt, I don't know, it looked like her hair was feathers or something. I didn't like that one. Then I tried it again and I liked that one much better, and I stuck on a braid to it because, I don't know, to me braids always have this warrior feeling to them. And I decided I'd put little plants in her hair and have some of the actual flower in her hair because I want to incorporate the actual flower into each one's design. Then I moved on to kind of testing out some makeup I could put on her. So like I tried messing around with making her face look very like almost like she just cries, so there'd be a lot of red, very blushed. And then I also put these like tears under her eyes, and all this was to incorporate the tears myth that we talked about. So then I also worked on giving her like a special sword. I base it off of like little bits in the center of the flower, not the actual like things that have pollen on them, but there are these weird little, I don't know, almost dragon fruit shaped, kind of that, but like a smooth dragon fruit. I think that just removes all the originality of a dragon fruit shape. So yeah, I made her a little sword based off of that. And then for her shield, I made it kind of petal shaped. It slowly lost its petal shape as time went on, but that was the thought I had for it. And then I started on her outfit. So her first outfit was interesting. I put way too much Christmas in it. It had this like crop fur coat thing and fur boots, and overall it didn't have enough warrior. So I started over and I started with like a chest plate. Then I liked the flower petal skirt thing I had, so I kept that. Then I kept boots, but I didn't add fur onto them. And I did give her a fur coat in the end. I just didn't have fur on the sleeves, and I didn't crop it because I still want to bring in Christmas somewhere, and I don't think it interrupts with the rest of it with the addition of like the chest plate, and also eventually with the final drawing, her pose and her weapons really make her warrior-esque, so the fur coat doesn't bring down the design too much. Then I went in to the drawing again and I tested out some colors. So I took the drawing I had made traditionally and just drew over that. And I had a lot of trouble figuring out her colors because originally I was sticking with mostly the purple and magenta because hellebore can come in like whites, pinks, purples, dark reds, anywhere in that kind of spectrum of colors. And so I tried using mainly like purple and magenta. And then I started adding in more white and even green because, you know, plants, I can always use green. There's gonna be green somewhere. And once I started adding more of that, her color scheme was looking much better, and I got to a place I was pretty happy with. Now, for the actual pose, I was going to give her like this really determined, fierce look and have her with like her arm out and shield in hand, making her look like she's like in front of someone protecting them almost, you know? Like she's blocking her enemy from something. And I thought that'd bring in the, you know, wards off evil kind of thing, because, you know, she's protecting from evil in that pose. So I drew, okay, this isn't my first time drawing braids. I've done it before, but this time I tried something different. I don't know how I like it. I really need to work on drawing different kinds of hair, but it is something I did, and I think the plants in the hair distracted from how the braids look anyway, so it's not a big deal that they're not very realistic. This was also like one of the first times I've drawn armor, especially a chest plate. Did I look up a reference and do any minimal learning about what a chest plate looks like? No. And I know this isn't what a chest plate looks like, but you know what? I have no excuse. I don't know why I did this. It always happens. I never look up references. It's not that hard. It is a one Google search away. I'm just stubborn. So yeah, the chest plate is very wonky. Chest plates don't look like that. Also, when it came to the final drawing, the makeup didn't really come out as much. I think the color pencils I used, the red was much more different from the skin tone, while when it came to the final drawing, the skin tone and red makeup were a lot closer, so the contrast isn't as big. Kind of unfortunate, but I don't think it hurt the drawing too much. It still looks like she has makeup on, kind of, or is just very cold, which both work. She can look like she's going for a fresh cry look, or she can look like she's out in the freezing cold. Both contribute to the themes of the drawing. And I added in some basic shine to help all the metal parts look more metallic, because, they weren't really looking metallic. But I didn't do shading for any of these, just like the fan art video, because there are 3 in this drawing, and that's a lot, so I don't need to throw shading on top of that, or else this video will never come out. I think this drawing was pretty good. It's probably my favorite in the video. Her design definitely isn't my favorite, though. I mean, I like all of these designs, but the first one I did. And that'll be it for this video. Like I said, this video took a long time. I designed and drew 3 characters, so I do have to split into 2 parts. So, since I'm putting in so much effort into this series, I guess, please make sure to like the video, leave a comment if you like it, and do me a favor and subscribe. That way you won't miss part 2 anyway. Also, all my social media are in the description below, so if you want to see more of me, then go follow all of those. And I will see you all next week.